Ukraine's Foreign Intelligence Service uncovered evidence tying Russia's secret oil shipping network, commonly referred to as its shadow fleet, to support operations for Yemen's Iran-backed Houthi militants, the intelligence agency reported. According to the agency, Russia is using these covert maritime operations to fulfill obligations to Iran, intensify pressure on U.S. allies such as Saudi Arabia and Israel, and drive up global oil prices by fueling instability in the Middle East, United 24 media says. At the center of the evidence is the oil tanker MAISAN, which Ukrainian officials say has repeatedly delivered Russian oil to the Houthi-controlled Yemeni port of Ras Isa. One notable incident occurred in August 2024 when MAISAN conducted several ship-to-ship transfers in the Aegean Sea to disguise the origin of its Russian cargo before offloading it in Ras Isa. Its most recent delivery to the Houthis occurred in early April 2025. Ukrainian intelligence has identified the vessel's captain as Russian citizen Vitaly Olyukov, listing his passport number and taxpayer ID to further substantiate the claim. In addition to MAISAN, at least two other tankers, Palm and Nobel M, have reportedly made repeated trips from Russian ports, Vysotsk and Tuapse, to Yemen. Ukrainian sources say Palm was last seen in Ras Isa in April 2025 and Nobel M in May. The Russian shadow fleet is becoming a global threat, supporting extremist groups such as the Yemeni al-Houthi movement, the Ukrainian Foreign Intelligence Service warned. The Houthis systematically attack U.S. Navy ships, launch missile strikes against Israel, and target merchant vessels, actions that have already disrupted transit through the Bab el-Mandeb Strait. Earlier reports emerged that Russia supplied satellite data to Yemen's Houthi rebels to help target Western ships in the Red Sea, with missiles and drones disrupting global trade and further destabilizing the region. Yemen's Houthi militants have been using Russian satellite data to attack ships in the Red Sea with drones and missiles, the Wall Street Journal reported earlier, citing a person familiar with the matter and two unnamed European defense officials. The Houthis are an Iran-backed militant group based in Yemen. Following Israel's invasion of Gaza in 2023, the Houthis began launching attacks against Western shipping vessels in the Red Sea. Russian targeting data helped the Houthis expand their strikes. Such assistance shows how much Russian President Vladimir Putin is willing to undermine the Western economic and political order.
The Special Operations Forces of the Armed Forces of Ukraine fighters destroyed an assault group of Russian soldiers in Russia's rear during a short battle. The Special Operations Forces fighters destroyed an assault group of Russian soldiers in Russia's rear. All Russians were eliminated during a short battle. One of the units of the Special Operations Forces conducted a lightning operation behind Russian lines and destroyed an assault group of 8 Russian soldiers. According to the Special Operations Forces, while performing a special reconnaissance mission behind the line of contact, Ukrainian soldiers noticed the movement of a Russian group. The commander assessed the tactical situation and ordered them to take up more favorable positions. Due to the effect of surprise, the SOF soldiers engaged the Russians in close combat. In a quick battle, the entire assault group of the Russian troops was eliminated. After clearing the area and searching for Russian bodies, the Ukrainian Special Forces continued to perform their combat mission in the area without losses. In April, soldiers of the 6th Ranger Regiment of the Special Operations Forces of the Armed Forces of Ukraine conducted a successful raid on enemy positions in one of the operational areas. They managed to replenish the exchange fund. The SOF said that 8 of its operators, riding in an armored Humvee and supported by reconnaissance drones, advanced deep behind Russian lines. Once in position, they occupied trenches and opened fire on a DPRK unit roughly 3 times their size.
Альфа Д. Все, отрыв, отрыв, отрыв. Ой, красиво, подснежники, блядь. Красота. Что там? Блядь, мясо скрізь. Рації нема? Давай, давай, давай. Єбать, пацики. Трьох захуярив нахуй. Чувак, їх просто розорвано.
The news that Russian Security Council Secretary Sergey Shoigu underwent a planned medical examination is not being viewed in political circles as an ordinary event, but as clarification of the issue regarding his future career. Russian press wrote about this. According to the information, such a medical examination is usually conducted before military personnel are released into the reserve and is considered a necessary stage of this process. It is assumed that events will develop according to two scenarios. The first option is an honorable resignation and Shoigu's transfer to the Federation Council, as well as a complete avoidance of any comments on anti-corruption measures taken in the country's defense industry. The second option is criminal prosecution. Against the background of investigations into corruption schemes in the Ministry of Defense, this possibility is increasingly growing. Because it seems unlikely that large-scale financial transactions carried out there could take place without the minister's knowledge. It was noted that people close to Shoigu say that he is in an uncertain situation after leaving his post as Minister of Defense. For Shoigu, who will turn 70 in a few weeks, this seems like a good time to retire. Indeed, his activity has slowed down considerably this year. He last appeared in public in April, at a meeting of representatives of the BRICS countries. Shoigu has not been remembered for anything this year. It seems that he was given this position only so that he could quietly leave after the arrests of his deputies. Recall, the International Criminal Court issued arrest warrants for Sergey Shoigu, the former Russian defense minister, and leading Russian General Valery Gerasimov on Tuesday for alleged crimes committed during Russia's invasion of Ukraine. In a press release, the court said judges had found there were reasonable grounds to believe that the two suspects bear responsibility for missile strikes carried out by Russian armed forces against Ukrainian electricity infrastructure from at least October 10, 2022 until at least March 9, 2023. Russian officials were suspected of having committed war crimes and crimes against humanity for directing attacks against civilians and civilian objects in Ukraine.